you, Travis. Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin with a story from Bermuda. Bermuda's Governor Rena Lagee Tuesday announced that the United Kingdom has blocked the Bermuda government's controversial bid to legalize the use and production of cannabis in the British overseas territory. She said, and I quote, "I previously announced that I had reserved the Cannabis Licensing Bill 2022 for the signification of Her Majesty's pleasure under Section 35(2) of the Bermuda Constitution. I have now received an instruction issued to me on Her Majesty's behalf not to assent to the bill as drafted." The Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs concluded that the bill as currently drafted is not consistent with obligations held by the UK and Bermuda under the 1961 Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs and the 1971 Convention on Psychotropic Substances. She added that she has informed the Premier and relayed the UK's continued desire to work with Bermuda on reforms within the scope of their existing international obligations. There was no immediate reaction from the David Burt government, but last year Premier Burt said if royal assent was not given to the bill, it would destroy relations between Bermuda and Britain. In March, Parliament again passed the controversial legislation making it legal to grow and sell cannabis in Bermuda. The bill was approved by 18 votes to 6, with all opposition One Bermuda Alliance MPs voting against it. 12 months ago, the legislation was blocked in the Senate, but the upper house cannot do so again. The Cannabis Licensing Act 2022 was intended to create a regulated framework for the growth and sale of the drug. We tell you now that Liat's court-appointed administrator, Cleveland Seaforth, said if he is to meet with unions, including the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union, to discuss the plight of the airline's former workers, they must itemize the list of topics for discussion. According to a letter addressed to the Union General Secretary, David Messiah, dated September 6, once the letter is received, the administrator will review it and provide a finalized agenda. Messiah recently wrote a second letter to Seaforth requesting an urgent meeting to discuss severance pay owed to Liat's hundreds of former staff after his first written plea failed. The regional carrier has been in administration since July 2020 and has been operating at a reduced schedule with a limited workforce since November of that year. According to report, ex-Liat workers are owed around 120 million EC dollars in severance pay and other payments, and it appears unlikely that they will be paid in full. Shareholders recently decided to liquidate Liat 1974 Limited and set up a new entity named Liat 2020, which makes severance pay questionable. Liat 2020 does not yet have an air operator certificate, but plans are to have the planes flying soon. Liat is owned by the governments of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and some shareholders have made efforts to support the employees based in their respective countries, whether through financial or social assistance. Now for our final story. The Barbados-based Caribbean Examination Council, CXC, recently expressed its concern at the great number of students leaving the education system without certification and is moving towards developing a program to deal with the situation. We will continue at the Caribbean Examination Council to ensure that a nation that ought to be developed must be fostered through education and training, and we are currently working to ensure that we continue to provide opportunities for students to self-actualize and become their best self, CXC Registrar Dr. Wayne Wesley said at a ceremony. He added that they have designed a citizenship and technical education certificate which is currently being piloted piloted in Montserrat, some other countries like Jamaica and Guyana. He said CTEC is geared towards inculcating strong moral character and light technical skills that would equip graduates with the skills necessary to perform in society. He said to do this, CXC and its stakeholders must at no time seem to be confrontational, but instead we have to work collaboratively, moving forward, working together. Wesley told some students at the ceremony that regardless of their grades they receive, it is only a moment in time and it does not define their final destiny. That has brought us to the end of tonight's regional news. Thank you for watching. Back to you, Travis.